right, so January must be 2023. One of my mods said, hey, this trans woman is streaming and is getting a ton of hate in their comments. We should have her there and send her some love. That was Adora. That's when I first discovered her. I started following her. It was just a one-time thing. March, April-ish timeframe, I was hosting my If You're Not Cis, You're Transphobic background, and that's when she found me. So throughout that time period between April-ish last year, all the way up until, this year, we had been in a small group that Andy named Melanco, right? Where basically it was just different people who had their own platforms who supported each other. So yeah, Andy just gave it that name. We were just separate creators that supported each other. So Adora had gone to all 3 of our meetups. She had been to my house one time for like a specific time that we invited her, which was back in December. And then she came after one of the meetups because her flight got canceled. But despite what people actually think, right? Like, I was not more friends with Adora than really any other people that I platformed with. Besides for Sherry. Sherry and I are like really good friends, where we talk all the time and everything. But with Adora, I didn't talk to her a lot off live. I had nothing to do with her platform. I had nothing to do with her Discord. I did mod for her on TikTok, but I mean, that was pretty much just if people were like saying something about me, I would just, mute them or whatever when I was live. I supported her just like I supported a lot of trans women on this app, or just trans people in general. Get to the point and go away. So there's this whole idea that like, oh, Mel has been best friends with Adora, like she needs to be held accountable and all these things. I don't know exactly what people think I need to be held accountable for. Again, I didn't know very much about anything. I was not involved in any of the Discord mod meetings. I wasn't really involved in much. I just came on her platform and she came on mine. We didn't really talk a whole lot behind the scenes. Hold on. Do I have a mod to get that person? Okay. So that's pretty much everything like leading up to, the past few months. So the Reddit stuff started in February, I think, where the subreddit was made, and it was about Adora, but because I was on her platform, I ended up in there, was it January? Maybe it was January. I don't know. Okay, January. So initially, the subreddit, we just kind of ignored it, whatever. There was a lot of silly criticism that didn't really mean anything to the majority of us. So the problem was things just kept getting worse and worse. And then Andy came in and was like, hey, talked to Adora, and I was like, hey, there are some valid criticism there. Some things that you guys probably should address. So we went over a few things, and that's when we did the accountability lives, right? And I did mine. I just talked about a few things that I was planning on doing moving forward. My stuff, just had to do with like recognizing microaggressions, racism, misogyny, things like that, and trying to move better with that, or move forward after that. So I addressed my stuff, Adora addressed hers. Okay, whatever. After that, there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I wasn't aware of, because I had multiple friends that were telling me, Mel, protect your mental health, stay away from the Reddit, right? Like, we've got this, you stay out of there, just keep doing what you're doing, don't worry about it. So I did just that, right? Like, a lot of people think that I was really involved in everything, and I wasn't, right? So it had been like months that I knew that there was a lot of drama going on between Adora's mods and other people, right? Like I didn't really know anything, honestly. So then, what was it? May, was it like the beginning of May, April, maybe? I don't know, everything's a blur. Whenever Andy started talking to the Reddit, right, after Adora ended up blocking Andy and Abby and then ended up blocking Reggie, I was aware that she was blocking mutuals, but for like specific reasons and stuff, I really didn't know a whole lot. Like, again, I wasn't involved in this stuff. But I had heard like things here and there, you know, that these things were going on. So publicly, for you guys, I still went on her platform, on Adora's. She still came on mine. And then, like I said, Andy started posting on the Reddit, and I thought that was weird. I wasn't quite sure what Andy was doing. I was really confused by it. I reached out to Andy and was like, what are you doing? Like, what's your plan here? What's going on? And she's like, there's a lot more stuff that you don't know about that I would like to talk to you about. And I'm like, okay, you know, sure, I'm willing to do that. Andy had always talked to me about everything, pretty much anything that she had issues with. She'd always reach out to me, Mel, I need to talk to you. I'm like, okay. So she did that. But what happened was it took quite a while for her to get this whole thing set up. And that was the Saturday. Wasn't this past Saturday? It was the Saturday before, or the Friday. It was a Friday. It was the Friday before. So let's see. This past Saturday was the 1st. It was the 24th. Yeah. Friday the 24th, I had listened to Andy. Andy wanted to explain some things to me with some other friends. And basically went over all the stuff that had been going on. The stuff that had been going on with Adora's mods, the stuff that had been going on with her behind the scenes, trying to get Adora to face some things and do better when it came to racism. How, like, I didn't even see the live that Adora had when she addressed like being racist. I didn't see that. I didn't see a lot of these things. People think, oh my God, Mel, you're her best friend, you should know all this. I didn't know any of these things. When I'm not on live, like, I am doing life stuff, right? I have kids. I have shit that goes on. So if I'm not on this app live, I'm usually doing something else. Or if I'm in a live listening, you know, I may comment a little bit here and there, or I might listen to a live like while I'm cleaning or doing something else. So anyway, I didn't know anything. So Andy was like, I want to talk to you. So she explained a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes. She explained, you know, how lots of people had tried within the last year to get Adora to address some of the things that she was doing and try to do better. However, she was not doing it. She was not making any progress. She was not, she would take accountability but then not change, right? So that's not really taking accountability. She would say she would change things and then she didn't. She was flip-flopping back and forth with those types of things. And again, most of the stuff was going on behind the scenes, so I was just unaware of it. But then we get to a point where within this conversation, I could definitely see where Andy and others were coming from. It definitely opened my eyes to the fact that it looked like she wasn't actually willing to change, and that she was just saying she would change and then stayed in the same pattern of not changing, also not really paying attention well on lives, not really learning the points of things that she argued about, all those types of things. So at this point I was like, well, give me a chance, like through this weekend, you know, I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna see if I can talk to her and see if I can give her like one last chance to kind of, you know, maybe make some changes, maybe make some positive progress or something. So I was like, you know, Andy, can you give me the weekend? Let me think about this. And then that's when we found out about the dilation, and the only cans, and that made me come to a point where I was like, fuck, I am not going to be able to try, right? Like, I'm not going to be able to talk to her about this anymore because this was a horrible choice. And yeah, I see you guys, the what? Okay, so we'd found out that she had been dilating while live on TikTok and then streaming that to OnlyCans, without the consent of anyone who is guesting on TikTok. So the voices of people, panelists, guests, whatever was going on during this time, that audio was on only cans. So that's a problem, right? That's not a good decision. And dilation isn't inherently sexual, so I don't know. The whole thing, it's been really rough for me to kind of process this within the last week. But yeah, there's multiple people that have confirmed this one way or another. So I don't remember what day it was. Monday. I had reached out to her. I don't know what day it was. Let me see. Hold on. The 26th at 5:52 p.m. The 26th was Sunday. I think it was the Sunday before. And I just said, hey, after finding out what you did with, streaming dilation while on TikTok to only cans and without the consent of anyone, and my platform being geared around kids, I am not going to panel with you, or you're not going to be able to panel on mine. Like, basically, I cannot support you, right? And I cannot have you around my platform. I can't be on your platform. Yeah, and that was that. And then after, I think it was later on that night, I think it was the same day I got banned. And then later on that night, she decided to just leave TikTok. Looks like she's been gone. I haven't talked to her at all since that day. So yeah, that's what happened. But for those of you that are like, oh, Mel needs to be held accountable, I don't know what any of you think I need to be held accountable for. I was completely unaware that this happened. It literally happened, I don't know how many times, but the first time was back in June. So June was before our first meetup. We had 3 meetups since then. She had been to my house twice after that. So yeah, it's kind of a rough thing to really think about the process. But when it comes to the other stuff, all the, Adora's not changing, this, that, all that, I wasn't involved in any of that. Literally I had a lot of friends that were, that had my back and was like, hey, you need to stay away from the subreddit. It's not good for your mental health. We'll take care of things for you. So I did. I stayed away from there completely. Which really made me kind of unaware of anything. And then, like I said, I even some of my mutual friends that were talking to, or trying to, my kids are screaming, trying to hold Adora accountable for other things and get her to try to get her to do better on her platform. Again, I was not involved in any of that, none of it. I knew nothing of it until I got the information from Andy, literally less than 2 weeks ago. So can Andy come up? No. And I think Andy's done on TikTok. She was here, I think, for a minute. I don't even know if she's still here. But anyway, yeah, that's it. And the reason why I haven't addressed anything in the last week, for one, I've been banned. Great. I do have a backup. I get that. But I think some of you guys really forget why I'm here on this app, right? What I'm advocating for has to do with trans kids. When trans kids are suffering from gender dysphoria, they have good days, they have bad days. I have one of those kids. This last week has been hell. Literally trying to keep my child alive. So if people can't have empathy over that, you can just fuck off, because the things that we go through in daily life is very difficult. Plus it was the last week of school for my kids. Excuses, fuck you. And my youngest was supposed to be graduating from elementary school, ended up with some kind of vomiting stomach thing, right? That was fun. So I was dealing with that while my husband was gone. And then my other kid got sick. So lots of vomit, lots of shit going on. Plus, like I said, my kid having some stuff with dysphoria, and it's been a hell of a fucking week. So today's Monday. The next week I am going on a mini vacation with Sherry, so I will not be on live again, which is why I decided to kind of come into this. I decided to do this live really quick, kind of in between things. Did Adora respond to you? She did. She responded to me. Just kind of like, I don't seem upset. Are you fucking crazy? She did respond. It was just kind of there was a few things kind of like, oh, it was kind of like back and forth type stuff, I guess. Kind of like, I said she didn't respond. No, I didn't say that. I think I just didn't say anything, right? Because I sent this message. Originally it was kind of like, oh, I don't really know what you're talking about. And then, oh, maybe that's a thing. I don't know. I understand your decision type stuff. So whatever. I was genuinely concerned about her mental health. So I kind of just was like, I wish you well, take care of yourself, that types of stuff. I am not sharing any types of screenshots of private conversations. I don't do that, so I'm not comfortable doing that. Is she okay? I don't know. I have not talked to her since Monday. I mean, I hope she's okay. She didn't make good choices, but I don't think anyone deserves to not be okay from not making good choices. Is she gonna return to TikTok? I don't think so. I think she deleted her accounts. Are you and her never gonna speak again? I have no idea. I have no idea. Am I worried about being on OF? It's not something I really want to think about, honestly. Because if I was, it was way before all of this whole like time period, and it's just not something I want to think about, honestly. It's kind of, it is just icky. I don't know what she was thinking. So anyway, that's that. If anybody needs like a little like recap of something, if you missed something or have any specific questions, let me know. I could get really angry about like where I've been the last week and how everyone's been acting like I don't have a fucking life. But I'm gonna try not to. So yeah. What about, somebody just said, Trump is winning because of you? What? I don't know anything about the AJ and baby bump stuff more than what you do. I don't have conversations with people behind the scenes. I really don't. I have a couple of friends that I communicate with, mostly Sherry, honestly, and yeah, I'm not planning on leaving the app. However, it is summer. I'll kind of be on and off. I think it's true. Are the videos taken down, like the OF videos? I don't know, I never saw them. How are you and Reggie? Totally fine. Adora made the decision to dilate while on live on TikTok. Not on camera, but the audio from TikTok was being streamed to OnlyCans. And yeah, without the consent of anyone who was on TikTok. So any co-hosts or any guests' voices were on the OnlyCans stream. So it's kind of icky. Why do you sound sad instead of disgusted? It's kind of traumatic, honestly. I don't know what you want me to like. I don't know why people think that I need to react a specific way. Disgusted. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's hard for me to just kind of understand like what she was thinking, why she made the choice that she did, and how she thought that was okay, right? I don't know how many times she did that. It looks like she had given the information to an ex-mod, I think, that she had done that. And then it came out from that person later on. I have not talked to her. I mean, of course for money, but like you could do those things separately. Well, as we've talked about before, right? Like there's no like elections. Like anyone can come on this app and say that they're anyone and talk about anything, right? So there's no like process to be like, ooh, who could be elected to represent the community? You know, anyone can claim it. Anyone can do anything. What the hell's on my shirt? So did she give me a reasoning? No, she just apologized. So, no, she took her own account down. She didn't get banned. I just said what she did. Am I okay? I mean, I'm okay. Who is requesting? I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't know the people who are requesting. Am I disappointed? Of course. We always want people to do better, right? And I did find it, of course I found it like, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Strange. Oh, that's not the word. I'm not the type of person that just goes around blocking people, right? I typically will talk to people about things if I have an issue. So of course I did find it to be a little suspicious, I guess, that she was blocking friends, people who were supposed to be friends. But again, I let the people involved, you know, figure it out and then clue me in on it if they decided to. And Andy decided that she wanted to give me that information. But I don't feel like, I don't know, I'm a little different, I think, than I do try to look at people as being separate, right? Like a lot of times when I cross platforms or request with other people, it's not because, it's not like I don't talk to them behind the scenes. Like I might just see, I think I like what they talk about on live, or I find a conversation something that I feel like I could add to. So I would join in and add to that conversation, right? But I don't become friends with everyone. You know, like personal friends. She stayed in your, you don't think I'm aware of that? I'm very aware of that. Thank you. What does that do though? What does that do to like, I'm aware, okay? I said this thing is kind of traumatic, right? Okay, I don't know what else you want me to do. Just put yourself in my shoes. Like, come on. She did not stay in the same room as my offspring. That was not a thing. I don't know where you Like, that's when people just make up shit. She did not stay in the room with my kids. So as I said, after I was clued in on all the other things that that she had been doing, where other friends of mine were trying to just get her to do better, right? To face some things, to learn more, to address some of the problematic things that were going on with the mods, and then she kind of just ignored those things. I didn't know about the details on these things until 2 days before we found out about the dilation thing. So initially I was going to come up with a plan on how maybe I could speak to her, since she did tend to take a lot of feedback from me. But I didn't get to that point, because after I found out about her, dilating on TikTok and then streaming that to OnlyCans, because I have a kid-based platform, there was no, thanks, Queen Mom, there was no way I was going to continue anything after that. So, yeah. And it was disappointing. I don't know, you sound disappointed. Yeah, I'm fucking disappointed. Yeah. I don't know whose voices were on the OnlyFans and on the OnlyCans, and honestly, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. There's just things I don't want to know. What happened with the mods? I mean, I'm not gonna again, this was a private conversation. Andy talked about these things in her live on Monday. If you missed that, I don't know. I mean, I missed the vast majority of it. Monday night was rough. Let's just put it that way. So, all right. What? Thank you. Why are you any better? What did I do? There's the question. What did I do? What did I do? Thank you for the love. Appreciate it. Why are you any better? What did I do? I didn't know about this. I didn't do anything. Thoughts on the Adora situation? That's why I'm here. What? Adora has done wrong so many times and you are here. What does that mean? Thank you, Paula. How did this come out with the OnlyCans thing? It was an X mod. Are you bringing up yes? No, not really.